Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me at this time of the day, wherever you are. Hope you're doing very well. My name is Solomon Izang Shamson. Welcome, that is, to Solomon's Temple. In Solomon's Temple, we get to look at real issues around the Christian community, around the church, regarding our faith, regarding our theology, and we analyze it, investigate it, and also seek the voice of God. Get to hear what God is saying regarding the situation. So I don't come to you as somebody who is perfect or correct or saying, look, this is how it should be. No, I come to you with my beliefs and you might come to me with your belief, and that is all good. But what we try to do is we try to say, look, because we are a church and a church is an imperfect group of people, we need to realize that. And when we don't realize that, we use that over and over again to abuse other people, to take advantage of other people, especially leaders, pastors, bishops, apostles, prophets. And we've seen that across the continent of Africa. So my role is to try to investigate, analyze, and to critically look at some of these issues that are brought to my attention. And every week I get people coming to me with different issues and complaints. And what I try to do is to make sure I get a balance from both sides. And also we ask ourselves, what does the Bible say about it? So thank you for joining me on Solomon's Temple. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe right now, Solomon's Temple. I would appreciate it. And also follow me on Facebook. That's my address there. Solomon Izang Ashams, that's my name. You can check it out on Facebook. You can also follow me on YouTube, on Twitter, and also on Instagram, Solomon Ashams. Thank you so much, guys, and I really appreciate it and all that you are doing. For those of you who are not aware, Jay Israel, I'm going to be talking about him. I'm going to be talking about Jay Israel and money. I'm going to be talking about an issue that he had with a lady who he owes money. And that lady is not Blessing. This is a different lady who is based in the UK. She's African. She resides in the United Kingdom. And she's been to quite a couple of churches. She used to go to Alf Lukau's church, come visit some of their events. And then that's where she met Jay Israel, who invited her over. So she started visiting his church sometimes, maybe once or twice a year to East London. And that was how the relationship, they didn't have a relationship, but a spiritual relationship, not a romantic relationship. So thank you. I see people. I see Ada Obi right there saying blessings. Murundeni, thank you so much for joining. Fiona. Give me a shout out wherever you are so I know where you are watching from. It's so amazing that we have a WhatsApp group and we have so many people from across the African continent, across the world. We got people in Tanzania, we got people in Cameroon, we got people from Canada, the US, So if you want to join our Facebook group, not our Facebook, rather our partner group, we call it Solomon's Temple Partners, where we get to pray over issues that are concerning our faith and our communities. And also you can get to understand the vision of Solomon's Temple, and you can choose to support Solomon's Temple financially if you would. So we've had so many people, sending us messages on WhatsApp. So all you need to do is just send a message on WhatsApp and then we can add you on. We are creating the group. We're just collecting the names now and then we create the group. So some of you guys have sent messages. We're going to create the group formally now and we're going to have a few administrators and then we're going to go head on. So please do that right now. Use this number +27 67 397 7197. Just so we can add you to the WhatsApp group and you would get to know also what is going on and what is not going on around. And also I want to say a big thank you to people who have been sending their financial support to this account for my legal cost. I appreciate it. And if you want to do that, I would appreciate for you to support this. You're not supporting me, you're supporting truth. My legal cost that I have a legal case with Alf Lukau, please do that via this account right there, a net bank account. This is an account that we used to use with my wife and we don't use it that much anymore. That's why we're using it, because we have a joint account with another bank. So that is the account. People are sending in money, $10, 100 Rand, and we really appreciate it. Some of them are actually doing that via e-wallet. People who are locally understand that. So if you are overseas, you feel you're far, SolomonTalks@yahoo.com is my PayPal account, and you can do that easily. SolomonTalks@yahoo.com, that's my account, and you can do that easily. Thank you so much, guys. Quickly, I want to introduce you to what we're going to be talking about in the next maybe 30-40 minutes, which is J. Israel and money. J. Israel and money. Now, that is a big situation right there. Before I even go there, yeah, I see K2. K2 is there. Thank you, Tabo Jones, Pastor Tabo Jones from Leondale. Lungelwa, thank you, Simanga from the UK. All the way from the UK. Thank you, guys. Nandi from the Free State. Thank you, Chiboy from Germiston. Pastor Mukoki Sono. Thank you, Pastor. I see you. I see you. Mpelegang Masimola from Pretoria. Lungelo from Ekapa in Cape Town. And then there is from Malawi, Noel. Thank you. Thank you, guys. From Botswana also we have Ponto. So now, J. Israel and money, what sort of relationship does this two have together? I've known J. Israel from a close range. I knew him from a distance when I started exposing him about 3 years ago. And then he came close because he had said he had repented and he has changed his ways. And I got close to him, gave him an opportunity. He wanted me to help him. For him to be able to grow in character and all that, which of course I gave him the opportunity, and that's the right thing to do. But then the more I get closer to him, I realize that his ways are not really changed and he doesn't want to change it, so he was just deceitful. And the Bible is clear about people like that. The Bible says have nothing to do with them, because the Bible considers people like that as pagans. That's what scripture says. I'm not saying it, It is dangerous to know God and then to turn your back on God secretly, but publicly you're telling people that you're still with God. I say it again, it is dangerous for you and for others, especially when you're a leader, a pastor, a husband, a wife, to turn your back on God, but publicly you give people the impression that you were still with God, but privately you don't have any sort of relationship with God. And that's what I discovered with J. Israel. Obviously, he's a school dropout, never finished high school. I encourage him to really finish high school because he's smart, to go to university and get everything together, because he doesn't have any skill. He doesn't have any skill outside of preaching and all that kind of stuff. But you cannot keep preaching when you're living in sin, So it's good for him to be good for him to have a skill, just so you can get a job. Because now, who would listen to J. Israel? People that will listen to J. Israel are just people who are actually not really seeking for God. Because now people know who J. Israel really is. He has not really repented, except he gets back. You never really totally write off people. I'm not part of the cancel culture. I don't cancel people, But I would tell people where I stand based on scriptures. And if they get their house in order, we can have a good relationship. If not, we cannot have a good relationship. I prefer to deal with them from a distance because I don't want to be a collaborator that would help them to do what they're doing. I don't know how to stay around people and not tell them the truth. And I expect people to do the same to me, because that way I would be able to grow in my faith, in my character, as a husband, as a father, as a leader, as a man in society, as an African. I will be able to grow in my business knowledge, in my, historical knowledge, in my biblical knowledge, and all that kind of stuff. So, but J. Israel obviously had lived a flamboyant life. If you check out his YouTube and also not his YouTube, I think his YouTube is actually down right now. He's not on YouTube. I think YouTube blocked his channel. I don't know what happened exactly. But on his Instagram and his Facebook page, you will see the kind of photos that he takes and then the kind of places that he goes and all that. So you could see he's really living in the flesh. You could see that he loves the good things of life. So he loves money. But so somebody who doesn't have a skill and doesn't have a job, forget about all the businesses that he normally tells people that he has. He's not a good businessman. He spends so much. How can you be a good businessman when all you do is spend money? That's not the way business people operate. All you do is, spend money, spend money, spend money. No, 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 no. You invest money as a business person. But for you, it's just spending money, you're spending money without making money. Because he's not a good business person. He doesn't have a skill. He doesn't have any sort of skill or knowledge because he never really finished high school or went to university. So it's not really good. It's not really looking good for him, even going into the future, because he would end up being a career criminal. And he's currently right now a criminal. That's what he does. And that's what one of the ways that I'm going to explain that is the issue that I'm going to, put in your front about money that he took from a lady in the UK. Now, he loves money, so he gets attention from women a lot. He gets attention from women online, especially middle-aged single women. They come to him to be prayed for. Some of them don't go to him because they would love to have a relationship with him. No, that's not what a lot of them do. For a lot of them, actually, they're really seeking for God. They really felt this guy is a prophet or this guy is a man of God. This guy is preaching back to Christ. He's going to help me, because they also have their own issues. So just maybe J. Israel was going to help them. And you have this woman all across the world, not just in Africa. You have a lot of them are Africans in diaspora, actually. And those are the people that he targets. And he makes money off them. Some of them come, they want to get involved with him romantically, and then he uses that to extort money from them. Some of them, they come, they trust him, and then he would say, look, let's invest in this business. And the moment they put in money, then it's one complaint after another complaint after another complaint, and they never see their money again. And that's the situation of the person that I'm going to discuss today. Who she's African, but she's based in the UK, so she's British, but she's an African who migrated to Britain. She heard about Alv Lukau, so she used to come to his events maybe once every 4 months, and that was where she met J. Israel. And J. Israel was in East London then, and he invited her to East London, for prayer, to fellowship. So sometimes from the UK, she comes, she goes there, or she visits Lukau and then she goes there. And that was how it started. And then it got to a time where he asked her to invest some money into a car business. I'm going to show you proof. I'm not just going to tell you about it. I'm going to show you WhatsApp messages that I cut out, some of the messages there, just to explain this story. So I'm not just telling you something off my head. I'm telling you something that I know. This lady got in touch with me last year, and she gave me all these proofs. And I actually confronted J. Israel, and he confirmed that he owes her money. And I told him, make arrangement to start paying her, which he never did, right? But let me read the first message she sent me. And by the way, I'm doing this after I actually sent her a message to let her know that I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to mention her name in any way. So I'm just going to read the first message she sent me. When did she send me this message? On the 23rd of September, 2020. That was when she sent me this message. I didn't know her from anywhere. She just came to me because she has tried everything to get her money back, but the money was not coming. Jay kept promising. Let me just take you through it, just so you understand the way how Jay duped her. So this was a situation of Jay duping her. He staged her, like we say in Nigeria. It was basically a crime that he committed. So this is how I'm going to get money off this person, right? So let's do this. Francis Rampuan saying, hi, brother, third time watching your channel. Nice to be here. Thank you, Francis. Let me read the story of this African who is resident in the UK, who Jay took 400,000 rand from, right? 400,000 rand. Now, if you want to know how much this is in dollars, maybe you should divide that by 15. For some of you guys who are Nigerians who you want to know how much this is, you multiply that by about 21, right? So if you are Nigerian and if you multiply that by 21, how much are you going to get? You're going to get about over 8 million naira. So if you were thinking in naira, over 8 million naira. If you were thinking in dollars, how much is this going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, 24, maybe close to what? $25,000 or so, right? So, and not just $25,000 or 8 million naira or 400,000 rand. He also took about 8,000 pounds from her. Now, if you're South African, you want to know what a pound is. A pound, you should multiply that, I think, by about what? 18 or 19 rand. If you are in Nigeria, obviously, you know that the pound is strong. 1 pound is about what? Over 500 naira. So we're talking about serious money here, right? Let me read her story. The very first message she sent to me on the 23rd of September, 2020. This is what she said. Hi, Solomon. My name is blah, blah. J. Israel owes me money. Last year, he invited me to come to South Africa for a mountaintop prayer meeting. Now you see, she came for he invited her to come for a mountaintop prayer meeting, and he used to charge people for that mountaintop prayer meeting. I went, and then he discussed about a car business with me. Okay, so he started with a car business, whereby he said we would buy cars from someone in South Africa and send them to Zimbabwe, where they would be sold. He said he buys cars at a cheap price from someone who works at the bank, and these cars would have been obtained from people who will have failed to pay for them. So obviously that's true. You repossess car, banks, if you go buy a car and the bank puts in money to support you and you cannot pay, your monthly debit order, they will repossess the car and sell to recuperate their money. So banks, you get that kind of cars, and it comes very cheap. So he sent me pictures of cars that the so-called guy was selling. I chose an X5, BMW X5. He said it was 250,000 rand. I want you to listen to this extremely carefully and remember the figures that I'm talking about. So the first time he said, he showed her photos of the cars, and he said, and she chose a X5, BMW X5. And he said it was 250,000 rand with a market value of around 1 million rand. Okay, so it was 250. That's what he was going for, the BMW X5. But the market value is about 1 million rand. So technically, you're going to make a profit of about 750 rand, because she would put in 250 and she will make a profit of 750,000 rand, right? So she went on to say, so I sent him 250. This was in November. December time, he said his brother in Zim, who sells cars for him, had found a buyer. So now his brother is part of it. So he's saying his brother is in Zimbabwe, who normally he buys the car here, send it to his brother in Zimbabwe, and the brother now is the seller in Zimbabwe, right? So he said the brother in Zimbabwe who sell cars for him had found a buyer, but the person had not paid. That was in December 2020. And in January time, he said the buyer hasn't paid yet, maybe because it's beginning of the year and people have a lot of outgoings. Beginning of January, he again borrowed money from me for his church renovation. Okay, so they were out in, what do you call it? They were out in, he was still in Durban. He was, putting his church there. He moved from East London to Durban. and he was renovating his church. So he he asked me to borrow him money for his church renovation. I don't even know how. And I gave him £8,400. I thought, well, he is my business partner. He's introducing me to a profitable business. I never thought he was scamming me. I never had any doubt this guy was preaching the Back to Christ movement. Who would have doubted him? After several text messages to him, he then said in February that my car was bought for 400,000 rand. I sent him a message to say I thought the car was going to sell better. Of course, because he said the market value. So you buy the car for 250, you sell it for 1 million, you make 750. But now she sent him money, and then he bought the car allegedly, and then he's now telling her the car sold for 400,000. So which is just a profit of 150,000. But she said, "What? Why? But I thought he said the car was going to sell better." And his response was, "For a first time, it's not that bad." That's when I realized he's dodgy. He hasn't given me the money up to now. It's been excuse after excuse. He ignores me. At one time in February, he even said he had deposited some money. So I was saying to him, how come I haven't received the money? I kept nagging him, and he changed to say he can't make external transfer. So he got to a place where, look, I'm just going to keep, lying to her. He said, no, I've sent the money to you. But she said, but I haven't seen the money. You sent 400,000 to me, but I haven't seen the money. And then he now said, no, he has some problem with his external transfer. He cannot transfer money externally. So he sent a message sometime when he had an interview with Maponga, and that he had changed his number. He said he wanted to discuss how he can make payments to me. He has not done anything yet. I sent him a message in August, but he hasn't replied. He's not what he claims to be. May you do me a favor and ask him about my money. May you please ask him face to face. That way you will see his reactions. So he owes me 400,000 rand and 8,400 pounds, British pounds. 8,400. So he owes me 400,000 rand and 8,400 pounds. Now that is her message. Now, I'm sure you got the gist, right? You get the whole gist. But let me take you through just some of just to give you, that is her story and how it happened. From when he invited her to a prayer mountain, when he said, look, there's this business that I do. I buy cars in South Africa and take them over to Zimbabwe, and you can make so much money because the car are repossessed cars by bank, and we understand that. Is my volume okay? Is somebody complaining about my volume? Let me know. I'm good. Is my volume okay? Give me a heads up if you know my volume is okay. I saw, all right. Okay. So that's what happened, right? It now got to, thank you guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Pam. So it now got to a time where now he was saying, no, he's going to give it to his brother. And then first he said his brother has found a buyer. And then they said they sold the car, but then she's not seeing the money. And then he said maybe it's January, so there's a bit of a problem. And then he gave, he now said, no, the car was sold for 400. She said, what? But you didn't tell me that was what we're supposed to make. We're supposed to make far more than that. He said, no, for first time, that's okay. And then he was like, oh, send me the money. And then no money. He wasn't picking her calls, wasn't answering her calls. And then he said, no, I've sent you the money. But you send me money, but I can't find money in my bank account. And later on, he was like, no, I'm sorry. It's more or less, I cannot send money externally because I have problems with my bank. You see the way they play, that's the way they play you. And that's the way criminals, 419 people, Yahoo boys, that's the way they dupe people. They will keep giving you one complaint after another, and you're gonna get tired. And you're never gonna see your money, right? Now, let me take you through some of the messages actually between some of the messages that was between the two of them. I hope I'm gonna be able to showcase the I want to take you through some of the WhatsApp messages just to try to support this first message that I got from her, because I told her, look, you need to show me proof and evidences, and she actually told me that. And I also confirmed with Tabisa, who used to be Jay Israel's PA in East London, and she confirmed that she knows the lady, and the lady had actually also complained to her about the same loss of money. So these are some of the messages. So this is some of the messages from their conversation. I want you to follow that, and also to be able to align it with the first message that I just read that she sent me. So she said, "Hello, Papa," and he said, "My daughter," and then he sent her a photo. He said 200K on this one. His book value is value is 900,000. And then there's a second one, which is, you see the photo there of the BMWs. The second photo, he said it's 250 on the BMW. That's the X5 there, which can be paid in 2 installments, right? And then it went on to here. Okay, here is just here she's saying, "I've made a transfer, managed to send a full balance of 150." And then he was like, "Oh, that's all right, my daughter. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be able to have your car at home. Then we start preparing to send it to Zimbabwe." But still, he's sending her just the photos. So now he will just get photos and send her photos of cars that is actually not real photos. He just scan around and just take some of these photos and send it to her, and she would think, "Oh, wow." So he sent her this photo of this X5, 2019 X5 new shape. The mileage is 6,000 Ks, and it's a diesel engine. So he's basically giving her some specs of the car, specifications. And then she was like, "Wow, that's nice. How much is that one?" Right? That's the one he said. That's the one she told. He had told her the price 250,000. So he said, "Look, okay, I like the BMW. It is a 2-seater or 4. Is it a 2-seater or 4-seater? It's sporty, but I think I can sell better than the Ford. It's a 4-seater door with 2 doors. Why are you changing your mind on the Ford?" And then that was him, because obviously because he was supposed to have the car. When he buys the car, he would have the car, and then he would drive the car around before he sends it to Zim. So she's saying there's photos of Ford that he has sent her. Why is he now not going with the Ford? And then he said, "No, I do not want to drive it in South Africa because it is too flashy. With the gospel I preach, I do not want any backlash." I mean, this is Jay Israel we're talking about, who is claiming to have this, buying a Bentley, buying whatever kind of car, or Jaguar or whatever. And then there's this message he sent again. He said, "It has been a busy week. I hope you are well, my daughter. Hello, Papa. I'm okay. Thank you. Awesome. I'm receiving your car tomorrow." So she's made payment and everything. And now he's saying, "I'm receiving your car tomorrow. My brother has the pictures already to prove it is in Zim." And then she said, "Oh, thank you, Papa." Okay. The same Papa, Mama, spiritual, whatever going on. And then she said, "Wow, that's nice. How much is that one?" That's the other one that I showed you, the X5. And then he said, "I will get price tomorrow, but it will not be more than 250K. Its actual value is around 1.2 million rand." So you see, so he sent her all these photos. This is the car. You could see the interior. And then he said to her, "Those are all options, my daughter. And obviously he needs to sound convincing, so he needs to look for all this kind of photos and send it to her. And then he comes, and then he said, "I had a very hectic day, my daughter. I shall video call you tomorrow to show you a car if you would like, to show you a car if you would like. Tonight we'll send pictures of others. Still just a conversation of sending the car and whatever. So she goes, after some time, she didn't hear from him. So she now tried to follow up with him. And she says, hello, Papa, how far with the cars? So he went and said, sorry, we got caught. I am expecting my brother back to me with the cash in 2 days from Zimbabwe, from Zim. I think the payment has been finalized. Wanted to video call you during the day, but I got very busy at the office. So basically, he's saying that he's bought the cars and he's sent the cars, and his brother has sold the cars, and now he's just waiting for the payment to be finalized. Okay, you follow? So this is her here saying, you haven't given me anything. So she's been waiting for the money. After some time, after weeks or months, she's been waiting for the money. Nothing is coming. So she now wrote to him again. She said, in January, you asked for some money to get some work done at your church. But up till now, you haven't given me anything. May I please have my 400,000 rand and also 8,400 pounds, please? So now she has realized that she has been scammed. She said the brother was going to bring money, no money. She said the brother was going to send money, no. He said the car has been sold. There is no any sort of like money coming in. He's not picking her call as he used to. He's not replying her messages like he used to. So now she's complaining. She's saying, look, give me my money. And the total money that I gave you is 400,000 rand in South African rand and also 8,400 pounds. Now, this is a lot of money, if you know what I'm saying. This is a lot of money. It's like she told me that's like my money. I have to go and scrape my savings and everything because I felt this business was going to be profitable and I'm going to make money. And then he replied her. He said, that's very correct, what you are saying. So he's confirming that I owe you 400,000 rand and 8,300, or is it 400 pounds? He's saying, that's very correct, what you are saying. Things have not turned out the way I expected. My account was frozen for sending money out as I was doing before. I'm still battling with the bank to unfreeze my account. You see, it's one lie after another lie. First, the car was sold. The money was coming, no money. My brother is going to send the money. No, there is a delay in the money coming because the person who bought the car was it's just the new year and all that. No, I've sent the money into your account. I think this is actually the one where he's saying the car sale and profit. Then I will send more again. I'm supposed to add 50. So here he's saying that he has sent her the money of the car sale. I'm supposed to add 5,000 more on the profit of it. So that means 2,500 for the car and 1,500 is the profit. And then she said, I thought the car would sell better. Right? And then he promised, obviously, he has sent her money, but then this is her message here saying, you can see it, is the 2nd of March, 2020, where she said, hello, Papa, the money didn't come through because he had told her that he has sent her the money. So you can see how he's been pushing her from one pillar to another pillar, to another pillar, to another pillar. Until this day, speaking to you, J. Israel is currently languishing in his 5th day in jail, in a police cell, for being in South Africa illegally. His documentation in South Africa is fake. No documentation, no right documentation. So he has broken the law. He tried to get bail. He never got bail. And the lady is out there in the UK, invested money, lost money. What did he do with that money? He took that money and spent on himself and his girlfriends, of course. Buy stuff for him. This is the same person. Remember, this was in 2020, right? From end of 2019 into 2020. The same time he was preaching and pushing the Back to Christ movement. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why I came out totally and exposed him. Because that's what he does. He's using ministry to defraud people and enrich himself. He was at the peak of the Back to Christ movement that he was doing that. Now, I'm not against people who give money to ministries and pastors. No, no, no. But whatever if you are doing business with them, that money should be used for business, and profit should be made, and profit should be shared with integrity. If you are giving them a seat, if you're supporting their ministry or their church or a tithe, that's fine, right? I'm here. I need legal money to cover my legal costs with my case against Lucao. I have to ask for money because the money that I have is not sufficient for me to take care of my family and to be able to do this, because I've been using my money for a long time. And now we're in a high court where you need so much money. I need about £5,000 for me to be able to go through this case. £5,000. Some of you guys have supported me. You know, we raised about how much? Yeah, about £2,000. Now we need £5,000 more. I'm not against people giving, but if I'm in business with you, I need to make sure it's business. I'm not going to take your money and do it. If you give me money for legal costs, like some of you guys have supported me and sent me money for my legal cost, I have to use that money for my legal cost. And I have to come back and be accountable to you. What I'm going to do is, even at the end of it, whatever the case gets to an end or whatever I feel I need to give you a feedback, I'm going to bring my attorney here, because I send the money to my attorney and then my attorney makes the payment just for the sake of transparency. So I'm going to bring my attorney here to explain everything. So that's why I have a problem when you give money to churches for something else or to pastor, you give churches, you give your tithe and then the pastor takes it and use it on himself. No, it's a tithe. A tithe is supposed to go to the community of people that are there for the church, to help others to do this, to pay, to pay this bill, to pay that bill, not for the pastor to take and buy a car or pay for his car or pay for his home. If the money was given for him to buy a car, I know people that would buy cars and give to pastors. That's fine. If you feel that's what God is telling you to do, that's fine. But he had used that even on the peak of Back to Christ. One of the reasons why this girl gave him 400,000 rand and 8,400 pounds, like she said in the message she sent me, was because she never doubted him. This is someone that was preaching the Back to Christ movement. And there's a lot of people that would preach, heaven and earth. They would preach, they will preach and preach and preach. But behind the scene, they are not who they claim they are. That's the reality. So we must really allow God to help us to discern, to use our spirit of discernment to see these things. She's not the only person that has lost money to J. Israel. And hopefully I'm going to bring you the other people that have lost money to J. Israel. And to be honest with you, most of the people that I know lost money to J. Israel, most of them are women. Single women. They have kids. They're really seeking for God, and then they fell into these hands. So there is, we must be able to ask ourselves, what is God doing? We must be able to ask ourselves, how should I conduct myself with other Christians, with other pastors when it comes to money? People are saying, well, Solomon, I thought you and J. Israel were good together. No, we're not good together. Just because we're good for you doesn't mean we're good for the Lord. How can you be good together when the one person has no integrity? And that's the problem. Because you're good together. It's like you see a man and a woman, you just say they look good together. and then you want them to get married, or they are married, obviously, so they have a friendship, and you always tell them they look good together. But you don't know that at home, the husband beats the wife. No, it's not good together. It's not what we do, exposing that what we did together. That's the most important thing. I care about J. Israel character and spirit and his walk with God more than I care about his works, his ministry, his preaching, his broadcast. I don't care about his broadcast. I don't care about his preaching. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is he walking with God? Is J. Israel walking with God? That's the most important thing. Because the day I stop walking with God because of sin, it would interrupt everything about me. It would interrupt everything about me. So we must care about the spirit of that person, the soul of that person, more than we can care about, you know, he thought maybe if he comes to me, he's going to use me because, you know, obviously I'm not like him and all that kind of stuff. But he doesn't know that for me, you can be my brother. You can be my twin brother. You can be my sister. If you're not walking right with God, and if you're a pastor or a leader, and you are taking advantage of people, lying to people, and I said, look, stop that, and you refuse to stop, I will expose you. The truth does not know family. The truth does not know friendship. The truth only knows God. And we must get to that place together. If you want people to know that we are real Christians, that's how we should operate. We must operate in a place where we know that the truth before us and the truth behind us, to our left and to our right. Yes, sometimes you're going to make mistakes. It's fine. But you get yourself up and dust yourself and say, no, it's about truth. If I borrow money from you, I'm going to make sure I give you back your money. If I take from you, I'm going to make sure I compensate you. That's when we're going to walk in the power of God. Not when somebody lays hands on you. If you're looking for the power of God, the best way is not for you to go for somebody to lay hands on you so you can fall. No. The best way is to walk in truth and to walk in obedience to scriptures. That's when you would see the power of God. Because if we don't do that, we're going to get into trouble. We're just going to be those Christians who are just floating. Do you want to be a Christian who will just be floating for 7 years, for 10 years? You're just floating. You never really saw the power of God. Even the case that I have with Alf Lukau, what we are going to experience is the power of God at work. Not my power, not the power of anyone, not the wisdom of man, but the power of God. Until you take a risk, to say, Lord, I'm going to follow you. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do the right thing. Until you do that, you cannot experience the power of God. You cannot really experience God as the blessings of God. You cannot really experience God as, you know, Jehovah Rapha, our healer, Jehovah Shalom, Jehovah Shammah, or Jehovah Sidkanu, Jehovah El Shaddai. You're not going to experience him that way. But obedience to scriptures, not when somebody lays hands on you or somebody prophesy. That's what we look for now. Prophesy. No, it's simple. And unfortunately for J. Israel, do I pray for him? I pray for him. What do I wish for him? I wish that he will come to true repentance. Am I happy he's in jail? Yes, I'm happy he's in jail because he broke the law. He broke the law. If I break the law, I should be in jail, isn't it? It's that simple, isn't it? But being in jail or breaking the law doesn't mean that's the end of his life. Doesn't mean that's he's condemned and he's going, that's just it. No. He would have another chance to reconcile with God and to reconcile with man. That's important. Anyway, Ketumetsu say, preach, brother, preach. We need men. Okay, let me stop preaching, right? Let me stop preaching. So I just wanted to just kind of sort of like share this with you this afternoon here in Johannesburg and wherever you are. There are people from the UK. I think you're 2 hours behind us or 2 hours in front of us or so. I'm sure it's cold there now. But please be vigilant, guys. Be vigilant. Be vigilant with men of God. Be vigilant with your money. I'm not saying do not give. No. If there are a group of Christians, if there are a group of people in the world that know and understand how to give, it's supposed to be Christians because it's all over the scripture, all over our Bible. I'm just saying, descend. I'm just saying, be careful. Ask God, should you, shouldn't you? And importantly, follow character more than gifts. Follow the character of the person more than the gifts of the person, more than the talent of the person. That's very important. I say, and I told people the other day, my family and I, we support missionaries. 2 missionaries, missionary families we're talking about here. Every month we had to send, for over 2 years, a white missionary couple in the western part of South Africa, Western Cape, and then a Xhosa guy who's married to a Nigerian girl. They're full-time missionaries in East London. When I say missionary, I mean full-time missionaries, not like they pastor a church. No, they work in communities. They do not have a salary. That's what they've been doing for 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? They don't take an offering. They work in communities. And we put also a girl through, we're putting a girl also through school. She's in grade 1 right now. We've been doing that for years. So giving is part of who we are. But we must be careful who we give things to. We must be extremely careful. I'm sure some of you guys know Jay's bail was denied. Yeah. Should he be deported to Zimbabwe? Well, if he's found guilty, he should be deported to Zimbabwe. Maybe when he goes to Zimbabwe back home, he will come back to his senses. And he must go back to school. If not, he doesn't have any skill. So he would end up being a career criminal. And I mean, he was in jail and then he made a video in jail saying that Alf Lukau and Uber Dangel set him up. No, they didn't set you up with you were here illegally. How did they set you up? Sometimes we blame Satan so much for everything. That's the way that we blame Satan so much for everything. That's the way we blame everybody. And he made a video in the police cell, right? And I played the video the other day. We even gave the video to the police because I spoke to the captain who is in charge of the case. And Jay is in deep trouble. And they posted the video on Ugly Truth page. And when they saw that the police is aware of the video now, they removed the video. But I have the video. Let me finally play the video for you, for some of you guys who haven't watched the video, of him being in jail and declaring war and threatening Alf Lukau and Uber Angel, who have nothing to do with it. You said they set you up, but your papers are not correct. You are here illegally. Let me play you the video.
Right, this is Jay Israel. As you can see, I've been locked up, and they are trying to find things to pin on me. They've been looking for cases to pin on me. They can't find nothing. I know. Lukau, you are behind this. Together with your Angel from the UK, you guys are solidly behind this. And I just want to give you a warning that this war that you have started, you must get ready, because when you think you have won by having me here, you don't know what is coming for you. I'm telling you. This is a warning to you. I want you to know. I'm coming for you as soon as I'm done with this. See you there.
What arrogance is that? I'm coming for you as soon as it's done. I'm done with this. Like, if you ask me, I think Jay has a problem that is deep. I think his spiritual experiences in Benin, where he went and got himself in witchcraft and all those covenants, it's really haunting him. And sometimes I feel it makes it look like he has a mental problem. That's what, he's, I don't know if he's bipolar, he has this split personality. You would see him as back to Christ guy, and then you see him as back to crime guy. It just blows your mind that you could be prominent in back to Christ, but then you're involved in so much crime and so much criminality around you. That's what's been going on. So thank you guys. I really appreciate your time. Again, I would keep drumming this just so we will be able to raise money for my legal costs with my case with R400000. If you want to support me locally or anywhere you are, please use this banking detail, NL Ashom, net bank account number 1159307792 savings account. We need to raise about $5,000. I'm trying to put it in dollars just so people would everybody could get to understand that, because there's a lot of international people here. I don't have to put it in rand. So please use these banking details. I would appreciate any sort of contribution, People have been given, and I really appreciate that. I do not take that for granted. This is our fight. It's not about me. When I started this, it wasn't just about me. I was not seeking for glory. And if you are international, you think PayPal is the best way for you to support and send in some money, please use this. My PayPal address, solomontalks@yahoo.com. solomontalks@yahoo.com. I really appreciate that. And it's something that my attorney, my lawyer, is actually saying, Solomon, even when we go to, now in the High Court, the trial, I lose, let's go all the way, even if it goes to the Supreme Court, the Constitutional Court. She believes in it so much, and I'm at the point where I do need encouragement, because this has been, R400000 has been after me for 3 years now. He's been after me for 3 years now. It's been going on for a long time. My family has been threatened by his bodyguard, Wise Man Mazibugo. People came to my house to kill us. Allegedly, they said they're in his supporters. We still have voice messages from 3 years ago. They're calling my wife to tell her her baby is going to die. We're going to kill your kids. So we've been through all that, to be honest with you. And I celebrate my wife for just standing by me. When I got married to her, I told her, look, I'm going to put you in a lot of trouble. Not because I'm a troublemaker, but just because if you choose to stand for the truth, there's no way you're not going to get into trouble. Jesus was into a lot of trouble. And he said, I'm the way, the truth. But he was into trouble with the Pharisees, trouble with the Sadducees, trouble with even his disciples, trouble with the authorities, trouble with Pontius Pilate, trouble with just everybody. Trouble with Gentiles, trouble with... So please, let's do this together. And whatever way you can support, really appreciate it. Don't forget, finally, if you want to join our partners group on WhatsApp, please send a message on this number on WhatsApp, +27 67 397 7197. We're putting together a group that we would continue to pray together. Even beyond this, we would be people who are standing for truth. So the group is just about that, and also people that will want to support what I do, that's the same group. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your time and just being here. It's weekend, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time. Don't forget to follow me on the WhatsApp and also on Facebook and also on Instagram. Follow me on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Solomon Ashams on it all. Thank you, guys. God bless you, and enjoy your weekend. Keep the truth.